He won a Nobel Prize in economics. And he says, no, no, no. He shows a nice, beautiful graph. It shows inflation coming down. The problem is there's an asterisk. Inflation, he says, is going great if you do not include a couple of things. Everything, yeah. Inflation is going along perfectly if you don't include housing, energy, food, and transportation. Hey, if you don't include literally everything that you need to survive, things are going great, folks. You can get transgender surgeries like 50% off. Everything else you're paying like 3x. That, minor details. But that's what they're doing. They changed the way they record the statistics. They changed the methodologies they did to make it look great because they think that you're just going to blindly follow their nonsense. But we get it. We see it. As much propaganda as they run and create, they can't fool us anymore because we're on to their lies and we see it. It's not going to stop them. It's not going to stop them, guys. Only you can stop them. Only you can put an end to it. But I see you. You guys will. Because we love freedom. We love our country. We love God. We love our Constitution. And we are going to fight for our children and the next generation. Thank you, Hialeah. God bless you all. Thank you.
There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to.
All right, that kind of wraps up what was a fiery conversation. Excuse me, just 1 second. Can you step up? No, I gotta stay right here. Does Don Jr. know how to open up the show or what? I mean, this is exactly what we expected out of everybody. Hello, everybody. Brian Glenn, Christina Bobb, as we start our pre-show into the main show.
So excited. President Trump's going to be coming out soon. I think we have at least one more speaker before he comes out. But it's going to be a great rally tonight.
It's going to be a little bit of surprise who's going to come out here in a few minutes.
A little bit of a surprise. Somebody I was not expecting, but happy to see out here. This has been such a fun rally so far. And all of the speakers that have come out, and the part that I have really enjoyed the most is the local Hialeah leaders and the local community that has come out and really spoken to this crowd and knows the crowd demographics and the people here. That's been really fun.
The excitement whenever one of the Cubans would come out here, the Latino.
So fun. And you can tell they'll be like Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua.
Great. Yeah.
So
all right, we're going to kind of preview some of the things that you might hear tonight. But first, let's talk about our friends over at Tax Relief. And look, you know what? October 15th was the deadline to file your taxes. But if you didn't file your taxes, do not worry, because they have a solution for you. No matter if you owe $1,000, $10,000, $1 million, if you haven't paid your taxes in a year, 5 years, 10 years, don't worry. Take the anxiety out of that. The information for that is on your screen. Take advantage of the fact that they want to help you reduce your tax bill right now. Go to it while we have a few minutes before President Trump walks out on stage. The energy in this place is electric. This is a thing where you've got a GOP debate, I guess, going on right now. I'm not sure who's watching it.
I'm sure they don't have the crowd that we've got here. And it's so interesting. We were right about the fact that this is a Wednesday night debate. people had to work all day. And so President Trump speaking, we thought he was going to be speaking at 7, but then speaking at closer to 8 o'clock. People came after work, and man, did they pack it out. I would guess there's probably 10,000 people here, maybe. There's a lot of people here.
There's a lot of people there. It would be close to it. And of
Yeah,
course,
something like this.
and this all builds up to what has been the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party. And if you look at the polls, the latest polls, there's a reason why President Trump is down here in South Florida. He leads, and he has been really adding on to the percentage of approval that he's getting from the Latin American population, Cuban Americans down here, Central Americans down here. He continues to build on that base. There's a reason why he's here. And I really see that is going to translate into, as we get into next year, even a higher percentage, not only here in Florida, but across this country.
Across the nation. And as they see these Hispanic communities really pushing their support behind Donald Trump and really supporting him, it's just going to catch fire. I mean, it becomes acceptable within the community, right? So you start to see more and more growth on that. So I do think his lead is growing in this demographic, and it's only going to continue to grow. And a lot of that is, these cultures, these Hispanic cultures are often deeply Catholic, very family oriented. They have very strong family groups, their relationships with their families. And this woke agenda is pushing them to the right. They're pushing them into the Republican camp, into not even the Republican camp. It's into Donald Trump's camp, because they've just got these strong family values in these cultures, and the left doesn't have it right now.
And it's interesting because if you look at all of the obstacles that President Trump has had to overcome during this whole process, legal proceedings, you've got numerous legal proceedings, so no one knows this better than you, and still that continues, his approval ratings continue to grow because of that.
Well, people are tired of it. I mean, we've been watching this for 7-8 years at this point, the Russia, Ukraine, all of these crazy stories about Donald Trump. We've been listening to it for so many years that people are just tired of it and they don't buy it.
Yeah, it's a continuum. Okay, before we go into our next speaker, let's remind everybody also, go over to Birch Gold Group. They are the experts in gold, silver, and precious metals. When you look at what's going on with this digital dollar and this move away from an actual currency, that should scare everyone. My friends over the Birch Gold Group want to make it really easy to take that first step in investing in gold, silver, and precious metal. Simply text the words Trump to 989898. That's Trump to 989898. They'll send you a free information kit. Matter of fact, on a qualifying purchase, you could get up to $10,000 in free gold. They'll also show you how to transition from a traditional IRA into a gold-backed IRA. The Birch Gold Group, good partner for tonight. Simply text the words Trump to 989898. That is the Birch Gold Group. We talked about the economy with many people earlier today, since we were kicked off this broadcast at 2 o'clock local time. Everyone's concerned about the economy. And it's interesting. Don Jr. threw out a question in the crowd about if funding a war in Ukraine was even in your top 10 of the most priorities right now. We all know that no one raised their hand for that.
Right.
It is simply the economy is what people are worried about the most right now. People are struggling due to Bidenomics.
But due to so many things, certainly Bidenomics, the open border is an issue. Taxes are an issue. Over-regulating so many of our industries that people are having a hard time making a profit in their businesses. Education, the school system is putting several burdens on parents. Parents are now having to have the burden of actually teaching kids, right and wrong values that they didn't have to worry about before. But now these kids are being indoctrinated in schools. And so parents are having to kind of moderate that as well. Everything that the Biden administration is doing is adding burdens to the American people.
It often talks about taking apart the Department of Education, and that's one of the things that a lot of people hear. He's promised to do that, and there's two things that the crowd really erupts, and they all has to do with kids, and one of them is stopping the gender-affirming care on minors. That tends to be a very popular thing amongst the base. But second of all, is doing away with the Department of Education and really getting our education back to where it needs to be, because that is part of the reason why you're seeing so much chaos right now in our societies, because these kids are not being taught the fundamental things of that you and I grew up on.
Right.
It's more of a woke agenda.
It is. Even I believe it was Oregon passed a law that said they weren't going to teach. I'm sorry, it may have been a regular. They passed something saying that they didn't want to teach kids math and reading because they thought it was racist, because minority students struggled with those subjects more. So we're not going to teach anybody how to read or do math.
Yeah, I think that was California was introducing that, as far
But
as
I think Oregon did it too.
in Oregon as
I
well.
think
So you've got the education. Of course, you got the open border. I was really surprised how many people we talked to tonight that was from Cuba, from Venezuela, from South America. That
Yeah.
said, the first thing that President Trump should do when he gets in office is to close the border. And we're seeing a lot of that. Now, if you missed some of the talking points we had earlier on the show, we could very much close the border right now, at least get close to it, if everyone in Congress would come together and, I don't know, impeach Mayorkas and really hold people accountable for what's going on at our southern border. That could be easily done if we just come together as a conference and do that. But these border policies that President Trump had, they worked. They worked.
Yes, they worked. As you know, we discussed this earlier, but all Joe Biden had to do was go to the beach. Don't touch anything. Just go to the beach. But he undid all of President Trump's policies, and look at the mess that our nation is in. I mean, it's not surprising that we're having the problems that we're having. And I think what President Trump did that was so important was he outed the fact that it is the Democrats, it is the political establishment, it's the rhinos, it is this political class of people who are destroying our nation. It is not the conservatives that want to stand for family values and stand for what they believe in. Conservative values do not infringe on anybody else's rights. It works the other way. And I think a lot of people struggled to see that before. Even under Trump, they struggled to see that. But now under Joe Biden, I think people can see it a lot more clearly.
Yo, Black Son, where you at?
This huge pendulum swing of support behind Donald Trump.
Peace,
Because
everybody.
people
What's happening?
realize that his policies worked, his motivations were right, they were in the right place, and he actually did help Americans.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah. Peace. What's up, man? Yeah, man. Just giving us some commentary, man, for the speech start. You know, at 8 o'clock I'm out, man, because I got real stuff going on as far as policies being challenged with the debate coming up tonight. So you know I gotta watch that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's gonna watch the debate and see track records get put on display. What's up with you though, my man?
Oh man, just chilling, man. You just watch, just chilling, man.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, man, just chilling out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Hey, Ron, come on up, Ron. I got some things I want to discuss with you. Or if anybody else, until Trump start to speak, you know what I'm saying? At the fascist rally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But yeah, man, I sent you a video. I want to break that video down. In turn, like I'm gonna stop calling you a Christian nationalist, man. It's wrong with me to call you a Christian nationalist. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to disrespect you, and you know what I'm saying? No shit like that.
Right.
I'm gonna just call you a fascist. That's what I'm.
Do you even know what a fascist is, MD?
That's why I want this video to get played.
Right.
So we can break that down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we can get a clear understanding. Remember, we had this discussion before, Black Son.
Right.
We had this, and I told you, in my words, that fascism was the vehicle toward ultranationalism. That's what I told you.
Uh-huh.
And this video is gonna break that down. That's why I said I'm not gonna put you in a box with Christian nationalism. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what is
Because
fascism?
it's brought. I just told you what fascism is.
That didn't. I wasn't clear on that. That's not clear definition.
It's not a clear definition. Okay, so like I said, in layman's terms, the video is going to describe it in further detail than I can never do it. In layman's terms, fascism is a driving force behind ultra nationalism. What do I mean by ultra nationalism? I'm talking about an extremist view of a group of people deciding political factors within the country based on a nationalistic ideal. If that make any sense.
So that could be another definition for democracy.
Not necessarily.
What's the difference?
Because
between
all democracy means is mob rule.
Okay.
That's all that simply means. By definition, that's democracy. But you and me both know that this country is not a democracy. Not in
No,
this
so
totality, it's not.
It's a republic. Yeah, it's a republic.
Right. So no, I can't rock with the term democracy for the totality of the country either.
Oh, okay. No, because I think fascism and democracy are one and the same, really, when it comes to views.
I disagree with that.
You disagree with
Because
that?
because in the democracy you have several different groups that are vying for different purposes of political power.
Right.
Fascism is one group and one group alone.
Right. Gotcha.
From a nationalistic perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I can't I can't compare the two in that aspect. No.
Right. So you're saying Christian nationalism is a form of fascism.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, right, it's a branch of fascism, but I'm not going to put you in a box of Christian nationalism because I know you're not a Christian. You know what I'm saying? I just be playing with your shit like that. Even though through your fascism you link yourself with Christian nationalism for a greater good. You know what I'm saying?
But again, you say that the fiscal conservatives and the Christian nationalists have two different agendas. They both seem to be gunning for Trump. Okay, but I'm trying to I think your definition is based on everybody who supports Trump to you, I think, is a Christian nationalist. That's what I'm getting. Am I correct in saying that?
I mean, that's a very obscure way to look at it, but yeah, I mean,
Okay, but that could be seen as a fascist view.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. I won't disagree with that.
Okay. So you call that's the kettle. What's that term? The kettle calling the pot black.
So what fascist viewpoints do I have? Since if that's what you want to say,
I just said that everybody you see that supports Trump to you is a fascist.
No. I misunderstood what you were saying there.
Oh, okay.
No. I know everybody. I sat there and said a million times, based on my individual outlook on how I see policies affecting me and us as black people. The number one priority at this time should be fixing the migrant problem. Therefore, if Trump happened to be the Republican candidate during the election,
right,
based on my vote, I'll vote for Trump. So do I put myself in that same situation? No, I don't. Because in my opinion, everything all the weight is held on if he's convicted or not. So I don't put myself in that situation.
So let me ask you a question, because it seems to be all on this conviction, right? And I see your point. How does him being convicted of, like you say, if he violated the Constitution, so you're saying that them convicting him of whatever these charges are, which none of them related to the Constitution, by the way. But let me just say,
I don't see how they ain't, especially the Georgia case.
the Georgia.
How
case.
you can't see that? I don't know.
So the charges, none of those charges say that.
Don't kill yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm listening. I'm not
What
asking.
the last charge that's on the indictment
Mhm.
says conspiracy to obstruct rights. What does that mean
Okay, right. So I
in
got you.
in the context of the charge?
Okay, so hypothetically speaking, right? He gets convicted hypothetically, and there are people, and I've actually I got videos showing this. They still want to vote for him because they feel like the charges are bullshit. So you're saying that
That's a
those
fascist
people-
ideology.
huh?
That's what I'm saying. That's a fascist ideology.
That is a
Because they're not
So
basing it. They're not basing it on anything factual. They're not basing it on evidence. They're not basing it on truth. They're basing it on a code of personality. Is what they're doing.
So you're saying
Based on the
okay, so you're
conservative
saying
ideal.
So you're saying based on the videos that I showed you, where they're actually let's leave 2020 out of it. Let's bring in like.
But this is about 2020. You can't do that, Black Son. You cannot do that.
No. Listen to what I'm saying, MD, because you got to give the people the benefit of the doubt. Based on the video I showed last week, where they caught them stuffing the ballots, that takes away people's faith in the system away, sir. So
That takes faith away from what happened in what was that, Detroit?
that was Detroit and also in New Jersey. New Jersey, there was a Democratic couple that switched everybody's name over to them so they can win.
I'm not denying that.
So
I'm not
okay, so
denying that at
now-
all. That ain't got nothing to do with 2020 election. I'm sorry, I just don't.
I didn't, bro. You're not.
If you can't be
Bro.
that objective, that lets me know that you're a fascist.
bro. So y'all see what he just did, right?
I do
Y'all
that.
see how he just disregarded the people. I said disregard the 2020. We're talking about.
You can't disregard 2020 because that's what the charge is about. You can't
Okay,
disregard.
but listen. People have the right to not have a faith in the system just based on what recently happened, sir. So people, a judge just say, you know what, this goddamn thing, they stuffed the ballots, blah, yada, yada. Then they caught the two. They just convicted the couple, said they were messing with the ballots. So these two incidences, which went viral, by the way, have diminished people's faith in the system. So based on, let's just say, okay, Trump gets convicted of A, B, and C, right? They're still voting for Trump based on their lack of faith in the system, sir. That does not make them a fascist.
Yeah, that's QAnon to me. I live in reality.
Okay, y'all hear that, right?
Remember,
You just said QAnon.
December 7th.
So you're disregarding people.
your mind.
So you're disregarding people who have seen these facts. That the same facts that you dance around.
But they didn't see facts in 2020. They didn't.
Bro,
They just did. If that was the case,
okay, so let me ask you
Trump
this.
would be president right now. If that was the case,
Why are you disregarding the fact that
I'm not disregarding.
Okay, so
I'm telling you, one doesn't have to do with the other.
Fact, but you're adding a straw man right now. You're adding a straw man.
That's not a straw man. You adding a straw man by you bringing up something that happened nothing to do. By you bringing up something that has nothing to do with the Trump case. That's literally the definition of a straw man.
Hold on. Let's start over. Let's start at point A, okay?
Point A is 2020.
No. See.
Yes, it is. Point.
Y'all see how he's close?
20.
Y'all see how he refuses? Y'all see how he refuses to answer what I'm talking about?
No, you refuse to have a starting point.
No. Push aside 2020.
I can't do that.
Right, you can't do that, but these people, so you're disregarding these people seeing what recently happened in 2 different instances. Actually, it was 3 or 4. You're disregarding that. That makes you a fascist, sir.
No, you ain't gonna get me with that
It
one.
does. It does. It
You ain't gonna
does.
get me with that one.
I
I'm
just
telling
got
you
you.
that
I just
the
got you.
fact of the
Because you're
fact of the
dancing.
matter
You're
is,
dancing. No, the fact of the matter is that you had recent. I'm not talking about 22. I'm talking about something
but
that is
2020
recent.
is what the conversation is
No,
about.
but cheating that recently is more effective, sir.
Golly, Black Son, I can't believe you're doing this right now.
No, but bro, because you're disregarding the people of something that is factual. You dance. You
I'm
couldn't
telling
see
you
the
the people. I'm
screen.
telling you the people are fascists. Fascist sympathizers is what I'm telling you.
Okay, so
Based on the
basically,
fact that
okay.
you're
So
bringing up
let me
something
break it
that
down.
happened
Let me break it down to the
a couple
people.
of weeks ago.
Let me break it down to the people. Okay, so everybody, what he's saying is that if you see any type of cheating going on in your state and you have a lack of faith in the system and decide to vote for Trump because you know the system is fucked up, he's saying that you're a fascist, is what he's saying. So I hope everybody gets that in the chat.
I'm saying that based on the circumstances of Trump's case, that happened in the 2020 election, that has Jack Diddley squat to do with
Notice how he
what some
keeps saying
Democrats
2020
did,
election.
because that's what it's about. Why can't you understand
But
that,
you know
Black
what?
Son?
You know what proves?
Why are
Hey,
you doing
shout
this?
out to Kelly.
Why are you doing
You know what proves? You know what proves the 2020 fraud election is that they're trying to convict Trump. They had all these charges and they're trying to take him off the ballot. They're trying everything in their power because the whole reason why they're doing this is so that people would have got discouraged. So you get mad when people like me, Kelly, and so on, and all those billions of people saying we're going to vote for Trump anyway. That's why you're mad.
I'm
That's why you're mad,
I'm
sir.
mad because
You're mad because Nikki Haley, Krispy Kreme Crispy, all those other people are at damn 3%, and Trump is way past them. You're mad.
that's the part of fascism what I'm talking
You're
about.
mad. You're mad. So you
But
want
hey,
to go
we
around
gonna
all
play
those
this. We gonna play
fascists.
this video. We're gonna play this
Yeah.
video, and it's gonna explicitly state the definition of fascism, and it's gonna tie directly into what Black Son is saying right now. Directly into it.
Again, I agree with Kelly Crazy. I'll be 100% honest. I mess with Trump the long way. So do I, Kelly, because he's one of the greatest presidents. And long way, and I don't give a fuck about any charges. A lot of us don't.
Yeah, you're a fascist. That's why.
Because they're phony charges, sir.
That ain't nothing phony about. Ain't nothing phony about taking away somebody's vote.
Hold on.
Ain't nothing phony about that.
Let me ask you an honest question. Can they beat Trump? Just as would on a straight up beat Trump? Can Biden or any of those Republicans just straight up beat Trump?
Well, that's not the basis of my argument. So stop trying to take it away.
But I'm asking you a question, sir. Don't make me get the gavel. I'm asking you a question. Can they beat Trump? It's a simple yes or no.
Who would say it's only one person that'll be against him?
Can Biden beat him in a fair?
No, not this year. No, not this year. He did in 2020 though.
Oh, okay.
He did in 2020.
No, I'm not talking about 2020. I'm talking about now, sir.
No, I'm telling you now, Biden will lose in 2024 if he up against Trump.
Thank you.
But what does that have to do with what I'm talking about?
Hold on. That's not nothing to what you're talking about. It's what I'm talking about now. And I'm talking about can Biden beat Trump straight up?
I already asked the question.
Okay, thank you. Everybody give him the hand. He admitted
again.
That Biden can't.
I'm objective. I can look at things the way the facts present them. I don't have to swing around.
Okay, so let me ask you another question.
I don't have to swing around. I can go both. I can go on both sides and look at the evidence. I can do that. It's possible.
Wonderful, indeed, wonderful. But I'm dealing with real life here. At the end of the day, I know.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am because okay. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something else. Since I'm not being realistic, were food prices better under Biden or under Trump?
Did Trump try to take
Were the
thousands
food
of
prices
people's
better
vote?
under Biden or Trump, sir?
Bro, we're not talking about that, Black Son.
I'm talking about
You
it
see what
right
I'm saying?
now. I'm talking about it right now, sir.
How many times have we had this discussion? You already
I'm
know
having
my
it again.
position with
I'm
the
having it
policies
again.
of Trump.
I'm
I'm not
gonna say
talking
it.
about the policy. I'm not talking about the policy.
Oh, you're not talking about the policy? Then what are we talking about then?
Golly, I'm talking about you being a fascist.
Who cares? Okay, I'm a fascist. How does that affect the tea in China if I'm a fascist? Okay, I'm gonna play the fascist game. How does that affect you? Like, how does that even
Because it affects me because you stand with the person that tried to take people's votes away, if convicted. That's how it affects me.
Make any sense? That doesn't make any sense.
It don't make no sense.
Can somebody jump up here besides Ron and explain this to me? Because
Why Ron can't jump up here? I'm not a Democrat.
Because
So
Ron is so
Ron ain't helping me.
Now, Ron can jump up. Ron, jump on up. Jump on up, man. Good Lord.
Ron ain't helping me in no way, shape, or form.
Speaking of Democrats,
Yeah, Ron can get smoked too.
Chicago. Let's talk about Chicago. Let's talk about
Go ahead.
Chicago. So, the people in Chicago, does that make them fascists? Because they talking about they're going to damn vote red. And
No, because they have a specific need in Chicago. So no, why would they be fascist? They doing it based off of circumstance in their community. But what about the rest of America?
So Kelly has a legit question. She asked, how did Trump try to take anyone's vote? I'm confused. I am too.
That's up for the interpretation of the prosecution because they charged him with it. I'm not a prosecutor. They charged him with it, not me. That's up for them to prove in court.
So the prosecution,
y'all don't watch Law and Order?
So the prosecution can't make a mistake then.
We'll find out once they prosecute him, right?
Well, no, I'm asking you a direct question. See, that went over your head. I said, can the
How did that go over my head? Black Son, we have to play it out in court, do we not?
Can the prosecution make a mistake, sir? I'm gonna ask you that question again. Until I get a
you can't prove that the
prosecution.
You asking dumb questions, Black Son.
That's a straight.
You asking dumb questions. It's not relevant to what the prosecutors are going to do. They can lie through their teeth all they want. If they prove it in court, if they prove it in court, so be it.
A dumb question.
If they prove it in court, so be it.
Okay.
If they prove it in court.
So do prosecutors make mistakes?
Based on what? A mistake based on what? The way they charge people, the way they prosecute, like what?
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk, bro.
Yeah, because I'm not understanding what are you asking me? What mistake? We all make mistakes.
Make mistakes
off of what?
On wrongfully prosecuting people, sir.
They do the shit all the time.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need now. Okay, thank you.
But that ain't proving no point that you made.
No, that wasn't too painful. That wasn't too hard.
But that's not proving any point that you made. It's not.
You just don't see it. Everybody else see it, but you don't see it. That's cool because you willfully ignore shit. But that's cool. But
that's you trying to put Trump in the Freedom Project, and that's just not the case.
Hold on.
That's just not the case.
Because that's what I want to see. Yes, it can, Kelly Ray. Yes, it can. It can. As long as he pleads not guilty, it can go to the highest court. Yes.
Yeah, he could take it. He could take it all the way to the Ninth Circuit Appellate Court. Of course he can. That's his right as an American citizen. That's his right.
And do stuff get overturned all the time, MD?
Yeah.
Okay.
But who am I to do a pre-game show thinking what I don't know about? That's your fascism coming into play.
So me asking
you're not allowing the process of the court make its way. Instead, you do a assumption off of conspiracy
Wait,
theories.
Wait. Check this out. Right, watch this, y'all. So I'm not allowing the process by voting for him for president of the United States. Really?
No, you're not allowing the process because you're making QAnon theory statements by saying the prosecution make mistakes. That's why.
No, I was asking. No, sir, I was asking questions.
Well, why even bring that up? Why? Like,
Because
why?
I want to. Because I want to.
That don't. It don't make no sense, Black Son. It
It
don't.
makes sense to me, but it makes sense to me though. See, that's fascism. It makes sense to me though.
That don't make any sense.
Huh?
It's instead of allowing due process, you got to come up with theory. For what?
So voting for Trump is not allowing due process.
Voting for Trump ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're talking about the case of the 2020 election.
So right, but you're upset.
I said I was going to vote for Trump. So how is that relevant?
Because you and Ron sit up here and you try to fucking shove down. Oh, he's prosecuted down our throats, and we're saying okay, and we're still going to vote.
That's
for
the
him.
truth.
Okay, and what's the problem?
If you don't see it, I don't know.
I don't see it. It's your problem. I don't see a problem. That means it's your problem, sir. That's Ron's problem. It's not my problem because I don't see a problem with it. Along with other people. If other people vote, I don't see a problem with it, bro. You shouldn't have a fucking heart attack or aneurysm because we're voting for Trump and we don't see no problem with it.
Who is we?
You see, we Trump supporters.
I don't know what that means no more.
People who have gotten on video, and I'll show the video at another time. I'll show it on Friday. Constantly people saying the more they indict, the more we unite, the more we're gonna vote for Trump. Those people.
Yeah. That's a number one play for the fascists. Yeah, that's number one play.
Okay, so okay. You know what? We're gonna play this game. We're all fascists. So what? What's the problem? We outnumber you. So
that America don't allow fascism in the country.
Oh, really?
That's not what America stands for.
Oh, but they allow cheating though because you ignore the cheating they did last week.
I don't ignore it. They should be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Who said that? But what I'm telling you is that ain't got nothing to do with Trump case.
No. It has everything to do with what we're talking about right now, though, sir.
What are we talking about right now?
Right now, I'm talking about me showing on video where they caught Democrats stuffing the ballots.
And if that's what they caught, they should be prosecuted to the highest extent of the law. I agree.
And there is a cause for concern there, sir.
Concern for who?
A concern for people who are deciding they're going to vote. They're concerned now. Like, damn, is my vote going to go to waste?
In New Jersey, right?
New Jersey, Maine. It's 3 states. It's 3 states, sir.
Do you live in that state?
Cheating is cheating. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm concerned about it as an American citizen. So yeah, I'm definitely concerned about it.
Okay.
But I got something for you though, MB. I'm going to give you a real challenge. Let's have a debate on whether Israel is the 51st state. Let's do that.
I don't want to debate that because I never doubted that. All I said was you can't give me an explanation as to why.
I wanted to save it for a debate. Y'all kind of,
but I agree for the most part.
Oh, okay, right? Because you have to, because based on actions, they are the 51st state. Based on action.
Again, that does not make it right. So,
but it's a fact.
You're not gonna get no argument from me.
All right, because it's a fact that states can boycott other states, but they
Israel is not a state. It's symbolic. It's a symbolic placement.
You can boycott not only other states, but you can boycott other countries except for Israel. You will not get hired if you boycott Israel. That's in the constitutional clause. I mean, not constitutional, but that's in our governmental clause. Did you know that?
Bring it up.
Bring it up. Okay, let me bring this. I'll have it in a tuck because Trump be ready to speak. So apparently you didn't watch You didn't watch Tucker Carlson and
I don't watch Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is a clown.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
I'm to the point now because that last
You have that right, brother. You have that right.
So I need the documentation showing that it's illegal to say anything against Israel. I need that documentation.
Okay, I'll get it for you. Even though we're not doing the debate, I'll still bring all the
I mean, we shouldn't have to debate for you to bring sources about stuff that's said.
You're right.
Why does there have to be a debate?
That's why I said no. We know what, we ain't got to debate it. I'll just bring the sources. I'll just bring it like I'm doing the debate, but we're not doing the debate. I'll just bring y'all my sources.
Like the source that I gave you yesterday when I sent you that video of Marjorie Taylor Greene saying she voted no on the resolution to fund Israel. Did you see that? That's a source.
I haven't seen that yet. I need to see that.
That's called a source.
Oh, she voted no?
She voted no yesterday.
Damn.
That's called a source. Or here's another source.
Yeah.
Democrats voted. I mean, Democrats won big yesterday in off-year elections yesterday. Huge. That's a source. I sent you that article too.
Right. So the one I showed you where Louisiana had a red wave, that wasn't a real source?
Well, we all know that happened weeks ago. I'm talking about yesterday.
Okay. Right.
So these are sources.
Right. Right. So the one weeks ago is not a source though, because it was weeks ago.
Yeah, of course it's a source. I ain't saying it ain't. But we already covered that.
I didn't say that you didn't have sources, sir.
Okay, so
I never.
What you say, twin? We at a stalemate.
I'm not understanding where you're going with this, MD.
I was messing with
you. Whether Israel's a 51st state. I think that
I'm not debating that.
Okay, right, because you said you agree with it. I get it, right, and I can source up too.
I agree with it from a symbolic aspect. Yes, I do agree with it.
Yeah, based on actions. I can prove it. You know what I'm saying? Now
but yet and still, that don't make it right. Based on the enforcement of Israel.
But I'm not debating right or wrong. I'm just debating like something that's just stamped. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of things that we can debate whether they right or wrong, but that's not my argument. I'm not arguing from a
yeah. I know because what Trump is being charged with, you're not making that right or wrong either.
It's wrong to them try to interfere with the election.
You're right. And that's exactly what Trump tried to do.
No.
Based on the indictment, allegedly.
So interfere with the election. So interfere with the election because we know Biden has no chance of beating Trump.
Not in 2024, you don't.
And try to discourage. No, I'm talking about now, sir. I'm talking about
that's 2024. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So try to discourage people. Try to make him.
I'm not discouraging anybody.
No. I'm not saying you, sir, because you're not the DA. I'm talking about the end game. The end game is to discourage people from voting for Trump.
That's a conspiracy.
That's not a conspiracy.
Yeah, it is.
Well, okay, with White Jack Johnson, all of a sudden, he wanted TV camera. Now he don't want TV cameras now. That's not a conspiracy, sir.
Who is Jack Johnson?
The guy from D.C., man.
Jack Smith?
He don't want TV cameras now, all of a sudden.
You can't have TV cameras in a federal case. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't, Black Son. See, here we go with sources. Let me source up.
So, hey, we about to get started, though. But, I mean, I don't understand the issue, though. I really don't. Hold on, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going back and forth. Sorry about that, y'all. So, MD, your point is what at the end of the day? You're mad because we still gonna vote for Trump regardless, right?
Why would I be mad at that? And I'm saying I'm a vote for Trump. Why do you keep using that as an excuse? That's not an excuse, Black Son. It's not.
Because you keep bringing it up. You're making it a big deal. I'm saying it's not a big deal. All these charges and so are all these other.
Well, the obstruction of people's rights is kind of a big deal.
Okay, it's a big deal to you. So I tell
Well,
you what,
if
you
it's not a
don't
big
vote for
deal,
men.
if it's
Then
not a big deal
don't
to
vote
you,
for men. Then you don't vote for men.
that proves your fascism and you anti-American.
Okay, right. I'm a fascist, right? So why are
And
you
you
crying about
and
it?
you
Why
anti-American
are you
because you
crying
don't
about
care
it?
about the
Right,
Constitution.
okay, right. I'm all that. Right. Why are you crying about it?
Because I
Why is it
want
about-
everybody. Because I want people in America to understand the
Oh,
Constitution.
because you won't. Because you won't. You sound like a spoiled little kid. Because what you want. The world don't work like that, though, MD. You just got to take care of you.
So it's cool to be anti-American.
Whatever you call it. If that's how you look at it, if that's how you feel, that's cool. You have a right to feel that way as an American.
Wow, ho ho, hey, no fascist USA.
Hey, you and you have the freedom. You have the freedom to goddamn do that, sir. As an American, you have the freedom to do that.
Ooh.
But stay out of our way as we go vote for Trump. And
No,
make
I
it
got to get in your way and prove you're anti-American.
Okay, that's fine.
That's my duty. That's my duty as an American citizen.
As anti-Americans, we're still going to vote for Trump so he can make America great. So we ain't got to be an American. How about that?
Hey, I'm glad you said American great, because that's part of fascism too, a rebirth of a nation.
Not great under Biden. Hell no.
That's another fascist trope.
Okay, right. Okay,
and you're anti-American.
Oh, how am I anti-American? I want America to be great. How am I anti?
Under a fascist ideology.
I'm anti-America, but I want America. Oh, said it. Oh, yeah. Oh, he. Man, you need to come on the show.
Yeah. Tell him to bring his ass on too. Tell him to bring his ass on.
You gotta come on the show, brother. You gotta come on.
Tell him to bring so I can smoke him too.
Right.
See, Black Son on PSN getting distracted.
I agree. No. I'm trying to get him to come on the show, man. He making some good points, but he makes some good points, man. And I got to get you on the show one of these days, brother. You would love it. But MD, man, listen. I have a problem with you having a problem with how we exercise our rights. That's what I have a problem with. You're
not that. Hold on, wait a minute. That you're not exercising no rights. Fascism is not a right in America. Who told you that?
Freedom of speech is, though, sir. Yep.
You're right. Freedom of speech is, but this done went way beyond that.
Now you contradict yourself.
I'm not contradicting. No, I'm not contradicting myself. The moment charges were being brought based off constitutional violation, free speech out the window,
sir.
Me
if I don't have freedom of speech, that I'm a fascist?
I'm telling you that you're being compassionate about the breaking of the Constitution.
Yeah, you're backpedaling.
That makes you a fascist.
You're backpedaling now.
I'm not backpedaling. How am I backpedaling?
You're backpedaling. You're not answering the question. It's a straightforward question, sir.
You don't understand the complexity of what you're asking.
I do understand the complexity of what I'm asking you.
I don't think that you do.
When you start dancing, though.
Ain't no dancing here. Ain't no dancing here.
You've been dancing all night, though. You've been doing the James Brown. You did the Prince. Then you turn around and did the Michael Jackson. Then you did the Usher Raymond. So it's kind of hard to kind of.
Kelly Ray said he wants us all to go to jail. Yeah, all y'all ass need to be locked up at the end of the day.
But that's not fascist, though, Kelly.
Yeah, you need to be locked up for fascist activity.
Right.
All y'all asses need to be thrown in jail.
Right. And this is
put on the RICO charges of conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. Right. You know, the true definition of a fascist is when you call somebody else a fascist and don't admit that you're wrong.
I'm glad you said that too. That is being discussed in the video. You're digging your hole, Black Son.
I'm not digging the hole, sir, because you've been doing it. You refuse to acknowledge them stuff in the ballots in that state. And I'm
not doing that. I just told you I'm not doing that.
Okay, so
If what happened in them states happened, they need to be prosecuted.
okay.
I don't understand like why you don't understand that. What I'm telling you is that doesn't constitute what's happening in the 2020 case. It don't. It just don't. So based off what happened in New Jersey, all Democrats need to be put in jail.
Hold on, because I know it's a pattern with you, MD. So Biden doing underhanded shit with China, he shouldn't be locked up.
Yes, he should. If it's proven, yes, he should.
Okay. Oh,
That's I'm waiting on the oversight committee to prove that right now. He should. We talked about this already. Why are you doing whataboutism, Black Son? Why are you doing this?
because I don't never see you going hard on Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and all that. I don't never see you going hard. I you know what I'm saying? Don't never see you going hard. You'd be like, oh yeah. But if it be Trump, you're like, oh shit, oh Trump. But I mentioned, okay, well, yeah, they're doing investigations right now on Hunter Biden, and they're gonna subpoena them, and you just like.
So you mad at me because I'm taking one priority over another?
I mean, it's suspicious activity, is what I'm saying. It's suspicious activity.
It's not suspicious activity. I could give a damn about Hunter or Joe Biden, and if they got underhanded deals going on in Ukraine and China, they need to be locked up.
It's MD, yeah.
But my investigative reporting is putting the nail in the coffin of this 2020. I get to Hunter and Joe Biden when I get to them.
Okay.
I get to him, and yeah, Kelly, Rico.
Right.
So yeah, that's all I'm saying. That's all I was saying. Like we got to get the facts straight when it comes to law and order. That's all.
Hold on.
That's all.
You say it because you cherry pick your law and order. I noticed that. I know you.
I cherry pick my law and order. Okay.
Yeah, because you didn't address the stuff, the ballot stuffing. They were breaking the law right there.
You went back to that again. I just sat there and told you.
I'm gonna keep going back to that. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going back to that because you should have addressed it the night we talked about it. How about them?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
No, you didn't. You danced that night. You addressing it now. But I'm hammering for all that dancing you were doing the other day. You were dancing. You were doing the damn Usher Raymond. Everybody read the thing because we were testing everybody's eyesight, and you refused to read the damn thing. It made me think.
I refused to answer it because it didn't have any context to the conversation. Again.
You're dancing, MD. You be dancing at the end of the day. So, but when you want everybody to answer your questions, but when people turn the questions on you, you want to start dancing.
But my questions was relevant to the topic.
To you,
that's why
they weren't relevant to me.
It wasn't to me. It was to reality. So my questions I was asking.
Every time you want to divert and dance, you just like, oh, it's irrelevant. Oh, it's non-secular. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You got to get up.
It ain't my fault.
That's very.
It ain't my fault you can't stick to the topic. I ain't do it.
Evasive. No, you're being very evasive, sir.
I ain't do it.
You're being very evasive.
I mean, when we had these discussions, I try to keep it linear to what we're talking about.
No.
I don't do the whataboutism.
You cherry pick like a motherfucker, MD. You cherry pick like a motherfucker. Yo. Facts.
Yeah, you do whataboutism all the time.
You do it all the time, MD. What are you talking about?
I don't do the whataboutism, bro.
Yeah,
I don't do the whataboutism.
Hey,
I stick to the topic. Yeah. Anybody that know me know I stick to the topic.
All right, I do too. But it just don't. If it's something not appeasing to your ears, you know, it's not secular. But all right, man. Let me play Trump, man. He about to come on now.
Oh, he on. All right.
Yeah. Let's play King Trump. Goddamn shit.
Yeah, fascism. Yeah, you're right.
That's not that. So that means England's a fascist then because they have a monarchy still.
Well, they downgraded their monarchy to being simply symbolic.
Facts. Trump don't pee in his pants either.
Who peeing their pants?
Eddie don't snip little girls' hair like a damn pedophile either. Shit. Right.
One's decrepitness ain't got nothing to do with the other either.
Y'all got to come on the show. Oh my gosh. Y'all key. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. What happened to the stream?
All
right, man. I'm a mute out, man. I'm a mute out.
Okay, MD. All right. Facts. Hey, but oh shit, where's this damn rally at? Oh shit, hold on. Where's the rally? Oh shit. Here it is. Oh shit. Right. Yeah.
Shout out to all the fascists in the chat. Kelly and Twin and Deacon. Shout out to y'all. All y'all asses is being indicted.
Right.
I'm snitching.
Year from now, it's going to be more important, I think.
Right.
On that magnificent day, you didn't just crush the dreams of a person that we used to call crooked Hillary Clinton. We don't call her that anymore. We call her beautiful Hillary. Because we use the word crooked for the president because he's crooked as you get.
Right.
You stood up and smashed the grip of the globalists, the warmongers, the open borders lobby, the outsourcers, and all of the liars and leeches who had been sucking the life and blood right out of our country for years and years. And for 4 great years, we dealt the radical left maniacs and special interests one historic defeat after another because we put America first. It's very simple. They weren't too happy about it either, were they? Every day since our 2016 victory, that was some year, the sick political class we defeated has been trying to scratch and claw their way back into total control over our lives. They are working so hard. It's actually all they're good at. They're bad at policy. They're bad at everything, but they're only good at that. And they're really great at cheating in elections, but we're not going to let that happen. They put you, me, my family, and our country through hell. But in the end, they will fail and we will win because we will never stop fighting to save the America we love. Crooked Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats are turning the United States into communist Cuba. And you know, because we have a lot of great Cubans here. We have some great Cubans here. And nobody ever did more for Americans who love Cuba than a gentleman named Donald J. Trump when he was president. He had it going beautifully. You were going to be taking it over very quickly. And then they blew it. We want Trump. 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 What they've done is so terrible in the last 3 years with respect to Cuba. We had it just where we wanted it. It was all set to go, and they blew it. They blew it so badly. Just like the Cuban regime, the Biden regime is trying to put their political opponents in jail, shutting down free speech, taking bribes and kickbacks to enrich themselves and their very spoiled children. My children aren't so spoiled, are they, huh? Rigging and cheating in elections, using the fake news media to cover up their colossal incompetence and stupidity, what they've done to our country. Nobody can even believe it. and using the fear tactics of a police state, because that's what we've become, to persecute Christians and especially Catholics. What's going on with Catholics? They're after Catholics. What have Catholics done? They're after Catholics, aren't they? Any Catholic or Christian that votes for a Democrat, I have to say, you're fools if you do that. You're fools. It's what they're doing is unthinkable. But we're here tonight to declare that crooked Joe Biden's banana republic ends on November 5th, 2024. It ends. As you know, Biden and the radical left Democrats claim to be defending democracy. He's always talking about democracy. He doesn't know what the word means. He can't define it. Define it for us, Joe. Joe, what does MAGA stand for, Joe? Tell me. I don't know. I don't know. We'll ask him that during a debate. What does MAGA stand for? I don't know. But like power-hungry regimes all over the world, just because they put the word democratic in their name does not make it true. The radical left Democrat communists are against voter ID. Therefore, open borders. How about that? Open borders where criminals come in from all over the world. They're for massive censorship and blacklisting. They're for shredding the Constitution, gutting the rule of law, and threatening their political opponents with violence and ruin. Remember, we are not the ones endangering American democracy. We are the ones saving American democracy. We are saving it from these very terrible people. If you don't want to let the communists destroy America like they destroyed Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and so many other countries, you need to send a message by voting crooked Joe Biden and all of his friends, the people that are actually really running our country, and every last Democrat. Get them the hell out of office. We have to get them out. Because this race is not just about beating crooked Joe, it's about defeating the entire rotten, corrupt, and tyrannical establishment right now that you have in Washington, D.C. Nobody thought we'd see this. This election will decide whether power in America belongs to them forever or whether it belongs to you, the men and women who make this country great, who make this country run. 2024 is our final battle. Stand with me in the fight. We will finish the job that we started so brilliantly 7 years ago. We never had a country like we had just 3 years ago. The job we did things that nobody thought were possible. With your vote, we are going to win the Florida primary for a third straight time. We are going to win this wonderful state in a landslide like we have done right from the beginning. Remember, you got to remember, we got 1.2 million more votes than Ron DeSanctimonious. You know that, right? Everyone says, oh, he did so well. He did well because I endorsed him. That's the only reason he was gone. But we got 1.2 million more votes than Ron DeSantis, as NBC called him the other day. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Ron DeSantis. That's called good branding, isn't it? Did we do a good job? And we're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. That's what's going to happen. And job number one is to make America safe again. For 4 straight years under the Trump administration, I kept America safe. I kept Israel safe. I kept Ukraine safe. And I kept the world safe. Israel, Ukraine would have never happened under the Trump administration. There was no chance it would have happened. Those 2 events alone would have never happened. Inflation would have never happened, It was caused by stupid people on energy policy. But we'll get it back really fast. Before I took office, there was a terrorist attack seemingly every week. People were getting massacred left and right, including the Pulse nightclub murders in Orlando. You remember that, how horrible that was? With me in the White House, we stopped it cold. Nothing happened. For 4 years, nothing happened. I completely obliterated the ISIS territorial caliphate. They said that couldn't be done. And I terminated its founder and leader who was trying to rebuild it again, al-Baghdadi. And we also ended the life of the world's top terrorist ever probably, Qasem Soleimani, the father of the roadside bomb. When you see young men and women on the streets where they have no legs, their arms are wiped out, their face, everything, he was the one. 94% of it was all done by Soleimani. He's no longer with us. And here in the United States, I implemented a strong, powerful, really incredible travel ban. They call it the Trump travel ban. And I said, that's okay if you want to do that, to keep radical Islamic terrorists out of our country. And we did. We did. When countries were sending their young, strong people that had bad intentions, we didn't let them do it. And the countries paid hell for it, but we kept it and we had no problems. And then you look at what's been taking place now, and you look at the millions and millions of people that are coming into our country totally unchecked. Nobody knows who they are. But under the crooked Joe Biden, we were weak and soft and in danger like never before, and that continues. And, you know, we have an election that's coming up very quickly, but 1 year is a long time. The destruction that they've done to our country, 1 year seems like it's quick, but it's not. It's a long time for them to continue because we're close to having no country at all, and we're also close to being in World War III, a war that you've never even conceived or thought about, but we're very close. You know, they have a hat. I saw it the other day. It said Trump was right about everything, and I said, well, that's a big statement. And then you think about it, and I sort of was right about everything. Russia hoax, the whole thing. Our country has never seen the likes of what you witnessed in America last weekend with the menacing mobs of Hamas supporters chanting their jihad slogans in the streets of our cities. In Washington, D.C., pro-jihadist demonstrators climbed up the fence in front of the White House. Excuse me, that I built. I built it. You know, the fence wasn't too good. The one that they had up there was falling apart. And we built it. Titanium, it's the strongest stuff. And they damaged the fence and they damaged police vehicles. They desecrated statues of Ben Franklin and other great heroes of our country. And they shouted, Allah Akbar, while calling the barbaric Hamas terrorists martyrs. They were saying martyrs. In times like these, you can't afford to have a president who wants to be politically correct. We have to do things properly. We cannot have an administration that takes foreign policy advice from Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib. Can't do that. Can't do that. AOC +3, right? AOC +3. But that's a movement that's growing. On day one, we will restore the Trump travel ban on entry from terror-plagued countries, and we will implement strict vetting and ideological screening for all new entrants into our country. We don't do that at all now. Anybody can come in. Anybody can come in. When people want to go and take the test, where do I learn to take the test? People say to them, you don't have to take any tests, just go to the southern border and walk in. You don't have to bother with tests, you know? We had a good, strong policy. We wanted people to come to our country, but we wanted them to come in legally. If you hate America, if you want to abolish Israel, if you sympathize with jihadists, then we don't want you in our country, and we are not going to let you come into our country. To all the resident aliens who joined in the pro-jihadist protests and became very violent and started destroying our capital and many other places, we put you on notice. Come 2025, we will find you and we will deport you. That's it. You know, during my term, we had a little bit of a problem with people coming into Washington and want to knock down all of our statues to our great heroes, in many cases, great heroes. But these were beautiful works of art, and they represented Washington. They represented our history. And they came in and they started getting more and more. Then all of a sudden, they started talking about taking down Lincoln and taking down George Washington and Jefferson. They wanted to knock down the Jefferson Memorial, little things like that. And I was able to find an old law, because only old laws are tough. Our current laws are weak. They're weak. They're for a weak country. They're for people that don't want to be told what to do properly. And we found this old law, and I immediately had a press conference. I signed it, and I enacted it. First time in almost 100 years. And it said, if you so much as touch one of our statues or memorials, you go to jail for 10 years with no probation, no anything. You go for 10 years. And you all remember that. And as soon as I signed it, everybody ran away. That was the end. We had no problem. I'll never forget, we signed it. There were people on top of one of the most beautiful statues in Washington, and they had ropes. You know what I'm talking about? And they were all set to do something, and they heard about this, and they got off that thing so fast you wouldn't believe. And they all left. We ended the problem. I will also quickly cancel the student visas of all Hamas sympathizers on college campuses, which have been infested with radicalism like never before, college campuses. On day one, I will stop the invasion of our southern border. We will stop it. Think of this, 1.5 million people, in my opinion, are coming in every 2 months. I think the number is going to end up being not 3 million people, not 5, not 7, not 10 that you hear. The real number, talking about gotaways. You know what the gotaways are? Many, many times the ones they catch. I think the number is going to be more than 15 million people, which is larger than New York State. Thank you. Under Biden, the United States has become the dumping ground of the world. Inmates are being emptied out of their prisons, insane asylums, and mental institutions, and they're pouring into the United States. Think of it, empty insane asylums. That's a bad word. My people say, please don't use those words, sir. Why? Because it's so nasty. Well, that's true. Now, an insane asylum is Silence of the Lambs. Anybody ever hear of Hannibal Lecter? He was a nice fellow, but that's what's coming into our country right now. And mental institutions, which is a number of degrees below that, and prisons and jails, there's a little difference. And they're coming in at levels never seen before, probably never seen before in any country. There's never been anything like this. Our country is being invaded. This is an invasion. It's an invasion. A few months ago, right here in Florida, a sadistic illegal alien in Lee County was charged with kidnapping a woman from a nightclub, dragging her into the woods, beating her, raping her, and leaving her with what were called bone-chilling injuries, so bad that she's still trying to recover, and she's still very close to death. In Alabama, a previously deported illegal alien was charged with savagely murdering, just absolutely murdering a 34-year-old woman and her 14-year-old son before dismembering their bodies while holding captive the woman's 12-year-old daughter. Who watched? This is the kind of monstrosity you'd expect from terrorists in the Middle East, but it's happening right here because of crooked Joe Biden. It's right here, Florida, in our country, all over our country. On day one, I will terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration, and we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. It will happen. So sad we even have to talk about this. Wouldn't it be great if we could just talk about fixing our country, making it great without having to do all this? But we have no choice. We have bad people, terrorists at levels that nobody's ever seen. I saw a chart the other day on one of the networks, one of the fake news networks. They're all fake news now. They're all fake. They're all fake news. They put commercials on that are so bad, even when they're with you, and then they put commercials on that are so bad and ridiculous. But I saw a chart that in 2019, there were no terrorists coming in, zero. And I said, it must be wrong, it can't be. But they had actually zero. And then the following year, they had many, many, many. Once Biden took over, the terrorists have flooded into our country. And bad things are happening. When you see from China, thousands and thousands of young, strong men coming into our country, what's that all about? When you see from the Middle East, all over the Middle East, young, strong men, not to insult women, but young, strong men are flooding our country. They've got something in mind. There's something in mind. And in many cases, these are the same people that did the attack on Israel just a few weeks ago. These are the same people. And for any radical left charity, nonprofit, or so-called aid organization supporting the caravans, a name I came up with. And by the way, right now you have the largest caravan that anybody has ever seen walking through Mexico and making its way into your country. It's a disgrace. We will prosecute them for their participation in human trafficking, child smuggling, and every other crime that we can find. I will also use Title 42 to end the child trafficking crisis by returning all trafficked children to their families in their home countries immediately, back to their parents, where they were stolen from their parents. You saw the movie Freedom. They were stolen from their parents. It's no wonder crooked Joe Biden and the far-left lunatics are desperate to stop us by any means necessary. They're weaponizing law enforcement for high-level election interference. That's what it is. They want to damage our name and my name so we don't quite get over that little threshold that we have to. But right now, our numbers are higher than they've ever been. You see that, the poll numbers. We're beating them so badly in the polls. You probably saw last week the New York Times, no big fan of mine, I would say, and the Siena poll, very respected, of the general election. We are leading crooked Joe Biden in almost all of the swing states. In Pennsylvania, we're up 4. In Michigan, we're up 5. In Arizona, we're up 5. In Georgia, we're up 6. In Nevada, we're up 11 points. And nationally, we're up at numbers that, frankly, nobody's seen before. Nobody has seen it before. And I don't think I've changed that much. But when you look at the difference between what we did, the success that we had just 3 years ago with the energy independence and even dominance, all of the things that we had, and then you look at what's happening right now, it's a big contrast. We're proud to see that these great numbers are led by surging support from Hispanic Americans, African Americans, and young people. How about that? In the primary, we're leading the field with an average of 61% for Trump. And you have about, 7 or 8 candidates left? I think they're at a debate tonight. Nobody's talking about it. Everybody's watching. So it's 61% for your favorite president, me, and 10% for Ron DeSanctimonious, and 7% for Bird Brain. You know Bird Brain? I will never run against him. He is a great president. I will never, ever run against him, said Bird Brain. I will not run against him. He was one of the greatest presidents in the history of our country. And then about 3 months later, she goes, I've decided to run. This is the craziest business politics. They said to me at one point, who's worse, business people or politicians? And I said, because this was very early, and I said, definitely business people are worse. Then after about 3 or 4 months of Russia, pencil neck Adam Schiff. He's got the smallest neck I've ever seen. It's like the size of a finger. I don't know how it holds up his head, which is oversized. I don't know how it holds it up. It's like a miracle. It's an engineering marvel. Adam Shifty Schiff. But after dealing with Pelosi, who's crazy, by the way, she's nuts. After dealing with all of these people that I had to deal with the Russia hoax, every hoax that you could imagine, I called up the people that I said, I think business is the worst, because that was very early. That was like my first week I said that. And I said, I'm changing my mind. The worst people, the worst by far, are politicians. They are far away. They're more deceptive. They're liars. They're much more disloyal. So I give the business people, I will tell you, you're much nicer and much kinder and much softer than politicians. Our nation is in very serious trouble, and it's time for the Republican establishment to stop wasting time and resources trying to push weak and ineffective rhinos and never-Trumpers that nobody wants and nobody's going to vote for. I watch these guys coming in. I had this thing, and I was watching these guys. They're not watchable. You know, the last debate was the lowest rated debate in the history of politics. So therefore, do you think we did the right thing by not participating? Somebody said, one of the dumber ones, he doesn't have the courage to stand up. Well, listen, I'm standing in front of tens of thousands of people right now, and it's on television. That's a hell of a lot harder to do than a debate. That's a hell of a lot harder. Now, I would say standing up here in this beautiful podium, you know, a podium where these stairs are not obvious enough, Biden could never get off. No, but think of it. Here's a guy can't find or figure out a way to get off a stage with about 5 sets of stairs. I got one here, I got one there, I have one there, I have one here. And you could even jump off the front if you have to. He can't figure it out. So he can't find out how to get off the stage. And he would also, by the way, half of the times he falls. And listen. So he can't get off the stage. He can't put 2 sentences together. And he's in charge of our nuclear talks. This is the closest we've ever been to World War III. This is the closest. And I hope that one's wrong. And that's not a prediction, because I would never make that prediction. It's too horrible a thing to say. But we have never been closer to World War III. And only for one reason. We have incompetent people talking on our behalf. You know, when you deal with China, President Xi, and North Korea, Kim Jong-un, and Russia, Putin, you deal with all these people. The press hates when I say they're smart. He said they were smart. Well, what am I supposed to say? They're stupid people? Kim Jong-un leads 1.4 billion people, and there's no doubt about who the boss is. And they want me to say he's not an intelligent man. They get very personal when I say that, because they're fake news. That's why they do that. They're fake. They're fake people, and they're hurting our country very badly. You know, when that poll came out, I watched a certain anchor on ABC who truly doesn't have it, how they pick this guy as an anchor. And he was almost crying when he saw the numbers in the New York Times poll, because it has us up by 10, 11 points and beating Biden everywhere, with women, with everything. Women, I'm finally doing something. I always felt I did well with women, because women want security, right? Women want security. Women. I'm winning with young people. I thought I'd do well with young people. Look at the people here. They're all young people. They're all young and beautiful. They're young people. Look at that. So we're doing well with every category. And this guy was up on ABC, and he was saying, do you know what this means? You know, yeah, it means we're going to have strong borders, great education. You're going to be able to buy a house. We're going to have interest rates come down. We're going to have a great military. We're going to have safety and security. It means everything. It means we're going to have a country, because you're not going to have a country left. If we don't win this election, you're not going to have a country left. I'm telling you, this country's going to hell. It's going to hell. And you know it, and we know it. And I hate to say it, because it's a very negative thought, I would say. Look at the front row Joes. Will you stand up? These people, they follow me all over the place. They're the greatest. But you know what? They love our country. How many now? Tell me. 32, that's nothing compared to 65, 76, 98. They are great. They love our country. And they must be doing very well, because they travel all over the place. You guys, you got to be making a lot of money, right? Huh? Well, we love you too. And everybody here loves you too, because you know what? You love our country, and that's what we want. The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election of 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election of 2024. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, they indicted me. Can you believe? My father and mother are looking down, son. How did that happen? We're so proud of you, son. How did that happen? That wasn't a word that was in, but this is a political indictment. This is a Biden indictment. Even that stupid trial going on in New York, which has been totally discredited. Everybody's been discredited. That's all comes out of the White House. That's to discourage people from voting. That's to hurt us. The only difference is we have a big voice. We're a very big voice. This is the greatest movement in the history of politics. And we have a great voice, and we're not going to let them get away with it. But every time I'm indicted, I consider it a great badge of honor, because I'm being indicted for you. Thanks a lot, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm being indicted for you. And never forget, our enemies want to take away my freedom, because I will never, ever, ever let them take away your freedom. I won't let it happen. They want to silence me, because I will never let them silence you. I will never let them do it. And in the end, they're not after me. They're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way. And that's true. That's true. You know, it is true, though. When you look at these crowds, it's crazy. If we had one of these candidates, pick the best one, whoever that is. I don't know that you have a best one. Well, one of them said last week that on the stage that President Trump is the greatest president in many generations. I sort of like him. You know who that is, right? I mean, how can I dislike him? He's so nice. A lot of people say that, why are you running? Well, he said, I'm a younger version, and it's okay to say, but we want the older version, right? But that's okay to say. And, you know, you got to remember, Biden's not too old. That's not his problem. He's too incompetent. He's not old. So many people. I know a man that fought all his life to make money, and he became a billionaire from 80 to 90. From 80 years old to 90, he made all of his money, became a very rich man, fought his whole life, and he made all of his money. Some of the greatest leaders in history have been way over 80. Some of the people I know, some of the smartest people, I have one of them here tonight. He's one of the most incredible businessmen in the world. And I won't say he's over 80, but let's say he's right around that. I don't want to insult him. The great Ike Perlmutter, he's right over here. He's one of the greatest businessmen. He owned Marvel. He sold it to Disney. He's not too happy with Disney going woke, I will tell you, but he's one of the greatest businessmen. And he is here with Lori. We have some incredible businessmen and businesswomen with us tonight, and some of them are over 80 years old, and they're just as sharp. I would say a couple of them are sharper now than they were 15 years ago. I don't remember them being that sharp. But we have people, and he's not, you know, they like to say that. They like to say that because I think, you know, they're trying to say, well, Trump maybe isn't that far behind. I think I'm really far behind. I think I'm really way far. But his problem is not age. They keep saying that. His problem is that he's grossly incompetent. And by the way, 25 years ago, he was incompetent too. He had the worst foreign policy judgment of any human being. And the Secretary of State said it. The Secretary of Defense said it. We're pleased to be joined tonight by some really incredible people. A woman who ran a fantastic race for governor of Arizona. And they said, come on Tuesday. Come, you know, Republicans, rightfully, they like to come on Tuesday to vote. They don't like sending out their ballots into the open atmosphere and maybe never seeing them again. That happens. But she really ran a great campaign. And on Tuesday, they had lines that were miles long in Arizona, miles, and it was hot. And unfortunately, over 50% of the machines in the Republican areas only didn't work. So they always find something. That's why they ask me, the first question they ask me is, sir, how do you take it? How do you do it? How do you wake up in the morning? How do you go through it? They're after you like nobody's ever been after you before. They're persecuting you. I said, that's okay. I do it because I love it, because we're doing something so great. It's history. We're saving our country. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me at all. And the second question I get is, will they do it again, sir? And you know what they mean. Will they do it again? Will they cheat again? Because they cheated like a bunch of dogs. Will they do it again? And we have the best everything. They're going to try. Look, that's all. You can't win elections when you say open borders, bad education, high interest rates, high taxes, tremendously big and impossible regulations, weak on every nation, not respected by anybody. The United States right now is a laughing stock all over the world. They don't respect our president. They respected me. They don't respect our president. They don't respect anything about us. And then you're supposed to win an election. They win their elections by cheating. That's what they do. That's the only way. You can't win an election with open borders. And I don't even care if they're liberal as hell. When you see people pouring in from these mental institutions and from jails, from Africa, from Asia, from all over Europe, and from South America, it's not just South America, who the hell is going to vote? They cheat like hell. And I will say it. I've been indicted for saying it. And yet they used to say that about me in 2016. The election was rigged. The election was stolen. We're going to put up a slate of electors against Trump. You know who did that? Thomas Jefferson did it many years ago, and it's been done many times. But in 2016, they even tried to get me on Alabama, and I won it by like 45 points. They said he cheated on Alabama. I said I won it by 45 points. I must have cheated by a lot. It's a great state with incredible people. But they did the same thing. When you look at Maxine Waters, watch the way she talks. Look at Tlaib today, what she said, the mouth, the horrible things she said. Look at some of the things that they say. They want you to walk into that restaurant and knock the hell out of them, they said. Right? All of the horrible things they said, and far worse than that. And nothing happens. But if we say peacefully and patriotically, oh, that's so threatening. These people are sick. They're sick. And we're not going to let them get away with it. We're not going to let it happen. And it happened once. It's not going to happen twice. You know, we did much better the second time than we did the first. I say it proudly. We did much better the second time. You know, we won in 2016. And then we got millions and millions of more votes the second time. Never happened to a president. Usually a president will, if they win, they'll win with less votes than they got the first time because people get bored. You know, he's a boring guy. I don't think I'm too boring, but he's a boring guy. I got the largest number of votes ever gotten by a sitting president, and I got the biggest increase. There's never been somebody. I went from 63 million to, I believe, over 75 million, and that's been recorded by them, not by me. How about the real number, okay? How about the real number? So we got like 12 million more votes, and the most before that was a couple of million votes. Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, has anyone ever heard of him? Barack Hussein. Remember Rush Limbaugh? The great Rush Limbaugh? I gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, Rush. Remember, he used to go, Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. But Obama got less votes the second time by a lot. I mean, he was against a candidate that didn't do too well, but he got far less votes. And most presidents do, but some get a little bit more, but they get this much more. We got like millions and millions and millions of more votes. I was told that if we get 63 million, the original number, we can't lose. So we got millions of more votes than that, and they stole the election, but we're not going to let it happen again. We're not going to let it. We're going to be vigilant. We're going to be there. You know, I went home. I did like 6 or 7 rallies twice in the last couple of days. I did rallies. I started off in 82-degree weather. And by the time I finished at 2 o'clock in the morning, the weather was about 7 degrees below zero. That's called, I would say pneumonia time, right? That was like, you start off wearing almost a bathing suit and you end up wearing fur coats in the same day, pneumonia. But I went home and I did my job. I thought we did great. And we had such great turnout. We had crowds like this. We had such great turnout. And after the turnout, all of the things that happened, all of that great turnout was so incredible. And I thought I did my job because I went home to watch it on television and I loved seeing. And at 9 o'clock, it was over. 10 o'clock, it was really over. And then bad signals. We have found some additional votes. Oh, here we go. Then at 3:02 in the morning, we saw some things happen. And then we watched it. We watched it be stolen. We watched it be stolen. Very serious thing. And again, we can't have a country if we don't have borders and if we don't have elections. If we don't have fair elections, we can't have a successful border. We can't have. But Carrie Lake ran and she did great. She did phenomenal. It was a part of our movement, but it was a whole big part of the movement in a great place. And they got there and they actually had to take her offline. Stand up, Carrie, please. They had to take her offline. Because it's Arizona and the weather is warm, to put it mildly. And she was standing on line and the police came. They said, I'm sorry, ma'am, you could be waiting for hours. Would like to take you to another area to vote. They took her to a Democrat area. She walked in, voted, and left. The lines were miles long. And many of those people had to leave. They had to leave because, you know, it's hot. They have Little League games for their kids. They have doctor appointments. They have to leave no matter how much they love her or me. They had to leave. And she lost a very, very close race and went to court. And normally a judge would say, oh, wow. You know, it's an interesting thing with judges. And I have a lot of respect for a lot of judges. But an Obama, let's say Obama, because let's not even talk about Biden yet, but an Obama judge will say, you know, I'm an Obama judge and I'm proud of it. And I don't care what the merits of this case, you're in deep trouble. It's hard to win. Whereas a Republican judge, a lot of them, not all of them, they have some that, and we just want fairness. But a Republican judge will say, oh, I want to show my fairness. So what I'll do is I'll screw the Republican and everyone will think I'm fair. It's so different. It's so different. But she had a situation where she had a judge and judges that, I mean, how obvious could that be? A large percentage of the machines just didn't work and people had to leave. By the thousands they left and she lost a very close election and the courts just didn't want to hear it and it's a shame. But she's a great person. Now she's running for the Senate. And I think she's going to do great. And I saw a poll where you're leading today. It's going to be maybe a 3-party race, a 3-person race, and she's leading. Also, Ambassador Carlos Trujillo. Carlos, where are you? Carlos Trujillo, who's been a tremendous supporter. Miami-Dade County Commissioner Kevin Cabrera. Where is Kevin? He's around here. He's around here someplace. I don't know where he is, but he's around here someplace. State Senators Ileana Garcia and Ana Maria Rodriguez. State Representatives Juan Porras, Alina Garcia, and David Barrero. Where are they? Just stand up and thank you very much. And thank you for the endorsements. And thank you. That was a recent endorsement. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We got a lot of endorsement. U.S. Senator Rick Scott just endorsed us the other day. It was a great endorsement. He'll do well. He's going to do very well. And your Congressman Carlos Jimenez, do you know him? Carlos Jimenez. Some people say Carlos Jimenez. Oh, you don't like him? Yeah. What's going on? Carlos, come on, Carlos. We got to get that straightened out. Carlos Jimenez. Really? Wow. Carlos. State Senator Debbie Mayfield, who's fantastic, and Representative Randy Fine just came across. Also Webster, Barnaby, Jessica Baker, Kevin Steele, and Mike Beltran are here with us, and they endorsed, and I want to thank them. A woman that opened a television show and got 28 million people. You don't know what that is. That's like unheard of. You know, that would have been maybe heard of years ago. They actually had more people watching television. It was more honest in those days. They had real news. They used to have real news, not fake news. But she opened up a show and she said a couple of words tonight. I know, but I'll introduce her again. Roseanne Barr, 28 million people. 28 million, wherever you may be, Roseanne. She's an incredible person. A man that I will never fight. I don't mind fighting people. Like Biden said, I want to take him to the back of the barn. Remember, he used to say, if I said that, they'd say it's a terrible thing. When he says it, it's okay. He wanted to take me to the back of the barn. If I went like this, he'd fall down. But this guy is so tough. And he grew up in the streets of Miami, the mean streets. One of the greatest fighters in the history of the UFC, a champ, a great guy. I promised him I wouldn't tell him what a great person he is because I'll destroy his image, but he's a great person. He loves what we've done. He loves MAGA, and he's all man. Jorge Masvidal. Where is Jorge? Where are you, Jorge? Where is he? Thank you. With his beautiful son. His son looks at me and he puts up his fist. He wants to fight me. The kid's this big. You know what they call that? Genes, Jorge. That's genes. He's got good genes as a fighter. His kid, he's like about 6 years old. He puts up his fists at me. And I didn't want any part of him because I know who produced him. Another man that's great, just like Jorge, but in a different world, the world of politics. He's a truly knowledgeable guy, and he's a great, great person. Roger Stone. I hear he's here. Roger Stone. He's a great guy and very, very talented guy. And a person who's really taken the country by storm. Very powerful person, very strong person, very courageous person, a warrior. Laura Loomer. Laura, where are you? Thank you, Laura. Great job you did. And also my son, Don. By the way, how did he do? Good? Good. Huh? He's good. He's a good guy. He loves our country. He loves you. He's a good guy. And Kimberly Guilfoyle, who's fantastic. Kimberly was on the 5 years ago, and she was always nice to me, so I never forgot that. She was one of the few. Rapper Lil Pump. Lil Pump, L-I-L, Lil. I said, how do you pronounce that? They said Lil. And a great pitcher for the New York Yankees. They call him the Hialeah Kid, Nestor Cortez. Where is Nestor? He's a great pitcher. Got that fastball. We're also honored to be joined by the Gold Star family members of 3 heroic Marines who gave their lives in the horrible, horrible, stupid, the way they did it. We're going to withdraw, but we're going to withdraw with dignity and with pride and with strength. from Afghanistan, the way they withdrew. They took the military out first. How stupid are they? You know, we had nobody killed for 18 months in Afghanistan. I spoke to the head of the Taliban. The press went crazy when they heard. I spoke to him over the phone. Abdul, I said, Abdul, don't do it ever again. No more. He killed a lot of people under the Biden and Obama regime. And I called him. I said, no, don't do it. We'll hit you so hard. You're not going to believe how hard we're going to hit you. For 18 months, we had nobody killed. Not one soldier was even shot at, which was shocking. And we would have pulled out with dignity and strength. But instead of that, they moved the soldiers. You could ask a young child, should you take the soldiers out first or last? And he would say, oh, I think take them out last. But we took them out first because we had stupid people running things. The mother-in-law of fallen Sergeant Nicole G., Christy Shamblin, wherever Christy might be. Christy? And Christy, I've gotten to know the whole group. Thank you, Christy. Nice to see you. Great person. I got to know all of them. And they called me because they were so devastated by what happened, and they knew it was a horrible mistake, and the administration refused to do anything. I mean, the whole thing is just horrible. Those young people should all be alive. You know, they don't talk about, Christy, all of the 38 people that were so badly wounded, so horrifically wounded with arms and legs and just obliterated. The mother and brother of Corporal Humberto Sanchez, Coral Brasino Vital, and Axel Lauren. Thank you very much. Please. Hi, Axel. Hi, Axel. And the great father of Lance Corporal Kareem Nikoyi. And that's Stephen Nikoyi. Please stand, Stephen. Oh, you look good, Stephen. I had them as my guests at Mar-a-Lago, and we sat down, we listened to music all night, right? And we thought about your loved ones. It was really a beautiful evening, actually. But thank you, Stephen, very much for being here. And we love you all. It's a shame what happened there is just a shame. Everything, has Biden done anything right? Think of it, the border, the economy is destroyed. Inflation is killing. What has he done right? We have tens of thousands of people tonight. There's not one person could stand up and say one good thing they've done. I don't think they've done everything. And we're laughed at. We're just being humiliated all over the world. Nobody respects us. It's too bad. No, we'll get back. We have to get back. Thank you. We have to, he says, we have to get back. It's not like making a speech. We have to get back. We have to bring sanity. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're conservative. Not a question of being conservative. We're people with common sense, because it's really about common sense. It's not about you're conservative and you're this. But we're people that want to see borders, and we want to see education. We want to see low taxes. These people, you're going to have a tax increase of 4 times more than you're paying right now with these maniacs. I've always said, you have to lower taxes if you're going to be a politician. This is the only group that can raise taxes, and they make it sound like it's a good thing. It's a bad thing. And, we gave you the largest tax decrease in history, largest tax cut in history. And we were going to do something. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia. We were going to drill, baby, drill. And we were going to sell the oil to Europe and Asia, all over the place. We had them all lined up, and we were going to pay off our $34 trillion, and we were going to lower your taxes still further. And these stupid idiots come in and they say, oh, we don't want to do that. But not least of all, we have a man here who I was very proud to endorse. I heard about him. I got to know him. He's actually one of the best mayors in the country, as far as I'm concerned. But I gave him an endorsement, and it went on to a tremendous victory. Hialeah Mayor Steve Bovo. You know Steve? And Steve, could you come up? He said he wanted to say something. Let's hear Steve. But he's a great guy and a great mayor. Come on up, Steve, wherever you may be. Oh, he has a sign. I don't know. Whoa. Thank you, Steve.
Mr. President, we're so honored that you're here in the city of Hialeah. And I told you how honored we were that we were going to do right by you, because you've always kept your promise to the residents of this great nation, and we're appreciative. And I will be asking next week, the City Council of Hialeah, some of the members of City Council are here with us today. Our Council President is here. Our other council members are here. And I will be asking them next week to be able to authorize and vote affirmatively as we name a street after you, Donald Trump Way. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Oh, that's an honor. Great honor. I did not know that. Thank you very much. And he's a great mayor and a great council you have. So thank you all very much. Appreciate it. This is more than a campaign, what we've been doing for now 7 years, 8 years when you add it all up and we started. This is a movement the likes of which this world has never seen before. The world has never seen a movement like this. Together, we appointed nearly 300 federal judges, a record, and 3 great Supreme Court justices. We took on communist China like no administration in history, bringing hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our treasury when no other president had gotten them to pay us even 10 cents. Nobody asked them for anything. They said they're a third world country. They're a developing nation. Well, so are we. We're a developing nation. They were given so much. I ended the NAFTA disaster, worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with a brand new USMCA, the best trade deal ever made. That's United States, Canada, and Mexico. I canceled Barack Hussein Obama's deal with the Cuban dictatorship and reimposed tough sanctions on the regime, and they were ready to do anything that our great Cuban Americans wanted. But then they came in and they just canceled everything, and they put us back in the same weak position we've always been in. They were ready to do anything for our Cuban Americans. And for me, I kept my promise, recognized Israel's eternal capital, and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. No other president. They went through many, many presidents. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. And I think most importantly, but they did nothing with it, I withdrew from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal. But they did nothing with it. Under President Trump, we had peace through strength all over the world. I'm the only candidate who can make this promise to you that I will prevent World War III. You're going to have World War III if we're not careful. I was very honored, a very great head of a country, Viktor Orban, Hungary, very powerful. He fronts on both Russia and Ukraine, knows them both very well. He told me a lot of things, great guy. But they asked him about 2 weeks ago, what should Biden do? What should he do? Because the world is blowing up, the world, the United States, everything's blowing up. He said, I have a very simple answer. You know, he's one of the toughest, smartest leaders of a country, very tough. He didn't allow anybody into the country. He said, no, my country is for Hungarians. He didn't want people blowing up his shopping centers. He said, if you don't mind. But he said, my country is for Hungarians. But he said to the interviewer, here's what Biden has to do. Resign from office, let Trump take over again, and you will have peace. Because everybody respected him or feared him. China, Russia, North Korea, everybody. And I was very honored by that statement. No, I think they did. They respected me and they respected our country. And we didn't have what's going. The whole world is going crazy now. And he actually said, we're not talking just the United States. The United States has such power if it wants to use it. But you know what? With every day, we're losing our power because we're losing our wealth, we're losing our strength, we're losing our spirit, we're losing our power with every day that goes by. And there'll be a time when we don't have any power. There'll be a time when we just, if things keep going like this, there's going to be a time very quickly, it's almost probably here, where we no longer have any power to help the world and help a lot of great people that are dying. We have people dying all over the world right now. Nobody would have died in Ukraine. Nobody would have died in Russia, lost many, many soldiers. Nobody would have died. Nobody would have died. Nobody in Israel. The attack would have never taken place, To protect our citizens from foreign threats, I will build state-of-the-art missile defense shields, and the Florida space industry will be a center of the action. So you're going to be very happy. You know, it's true. I want to build a dome because, you know, you have all these countries now and more they want the weapons and they got the missiles and they got everything. And we now have it down. Ronald Reagan wanted to do that. He was met with tremendous anger from Russia. I said, why are they angry if we want to build a shield? But that's the way it was. But we're going to build a shield. And we have a technology. You see it now working all the time. It shoots down needles in the sky. We have the greatest technology in the world. And we're going to build a dome right around this country. And we're going to save ourselves from some maniac that wants to start shooting at us, all right? And it means a lot of jobs. And that's one that I like a lot. I will end Joe Biden's war on American energy, and we will unleash our most powerful economic weapon. We are going to drill for so much oil. We are going to, as I said before, we are going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to bring down your costs. We are bringing down your energy costs. We have the highest energy costs anywhere now. And, you know, energy is really what started inflation. And I don't know if you've ever heard, but inflation is called a country buster. You can go back 300 years and you can see why some great empires failed. Many of them failed because of the word inflation. You look at Germany, old day Germany, and you look at so many other countries. Inflation is a country buster, and it's busting our country right now, where bacon is 5 times more expensive than it was just a short while. Bacon! Even I say, I don't want any bacon, it's too expensive. But we're going to get it under control, and we're going to do it fast because we're going to have so much energy and the prices are going to come down and everything else is going to follow. Under crooked Joe Biden, the economy is floundering. Families are suffering, and the largest growth industry in our country by far is government. It's the only thing that's growing. When I'm reelected, we will stop Joe Biden's inflation disaster, and we will rebuild the greatest economy in the history of the world. We'll do it. And unlike Ron DeSanctimonious, I will always protect Social Security and Medicare. He did not protect it. He wanted to do bad things to it for our great senior citizens. And when I get back into the Oval Office, I will totally obliterate the deep state. We started with Comey. We got rid of him. And we got rid of a lot of bad people. We will root out the corruption, bribery, and influence selling in our nation's capital. And we will start by exposing every last crime committed by crooked Joe Biden. Because now that he indicted me, we're allowed to look at him. But he did real bad things. We will restore law and order to our communities. And I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every Marxist prosecutor in America for their illegal, racist, and reverse enforcement of the law. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto our children. And I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. No, we're going to make America great again. It's not going to take very long. Not going to take very long. And I will keep men out of women's sports. Is that okay? I will fully uphold the Second Amendment. I will continue to protect innocent life. We will restore free speech. And I will secure our elections like they've never been secured before. And by the way, our goal on elections will be one-day voting with paper ballots and voter ID. Is that okay? Now they'll really cheat. They'll get those machines humming. They'll say, we got to get this guy out of there. He's going to cause us to lose a fortune. Yeah, we want paper ballot. You know, they make paper now. Watermark paper. That's amazing. We want paper ballots. France did it. France just went to paper ballots, one-day voting, voter ID, 36 million people. It took place at a winner. They had a loser. Everyone home, and the loser was unhappy. The winner was happy, and they'll already started the next fight. But you know what? They had no disputes. They had mail-in ballots a long time ago, and they turned out to be so corrupt. Anytime you have mail-in ballots, you have corrupt elections. I don't care what it is. It's anybody that wants it, they're corrupt. And that includes Republicans, by the way. Anytime you have mail-in ballots, you are going to have really corrupt elections. But until then, Republicans must win. We have to win so we can do this. And in conclusion, this is what we must do to restore our country to greatness. Together, we're taking on some of the most menacing forces and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. No matter how hateful or corrupt the communists and criminals we're fighting against may be, you must never forget this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. It belongs to the people with us tonight. That's how we won. This is your home. This is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right. From Tampa to Tallahassee, from Pensacola to Sarasota, from Gainesville to Jacksonville to Miami, we inherit the legacy of generations of American patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to defend our country and to defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes who crossed the oceans, blazed the trail, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, dug out the Panama Canal. Nobody thought it was possible. Raised up the skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and from right here in this beautiful state, launched our brave American astronauts to plant the American flag on the face of the moon. Together, they made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that is the highest inflation in 50 years, where banks are collapsing and interest rates are skyrocketing. Likewise, we are a nation where energy costs have reached the highest in our history. We are no longer energy independent or energy dominant. We were just there a very short number of years ago. We are a nation that is begging Venezuela and many others for oil. Please, please, please help us, Joe Biden says. Yet we have more liquid gold right under our feet than any other country anywhere in the world. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will be reducing their output of oil and substantially increasing the price. And that threat is met by announcing that we will no longer be drilling for oil in large areas of Alaska and other parts of our country. We are a nation that is consumed by the radical left's Green New Deal, yet everyone knows that the Green New Deal is fake and will lead to our country's destruction. We are a nation whose leaders are demanding all electric cars, despite the fact that they can't go far, cost too much, and whose batteries and all of the other elements of those horrible cars are produced in China with materials only available in China, when an unlimited amount of gasoline is available inexpensively right here in the United States. But it's not available in China. And now we are a nation that wants to make our great army tanks all electric, so that despite the fact that they will not be able to go very far, fewer pollutants will be released into the air of the territory that we are trying to conquer. And they also want to make our fighter jets with a green energy stamp losing 15% efficiency, but allowing us to keep our enemy's atmosphere crystal clear while we attempt to knock out their air force. We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the United States just as the price of oil reached an all-time high. What other country would do such a thing? We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving behind dead soldiers, American citizens, and $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world. We are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and it will only get worse. It would never have happened with me as your president, and for 4 straight years, it didn't happen. And China with Taiwan is next. We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against opposing political parties, something that we have never done before. We've got a federal Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public, and which offers $1 million to a writer of fiction about Donald Trump to lie and say it was a fact, not fiction, where Hunter Biden's laptop from hell was Russian disinformation, and the FBI knew it wasn't, but 51 intelligence agents said it was, and they knew it wasn't also. And a Department of Justice that refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud. And we have a man who is totally corrupt and the worst president in the history of our country, who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead, and is now in charge of dealing with Russia and possible nuclear war, which would be World War III and far more devastating than any of the previous world wars, because of the weaponry that no one ever wants to think about, talk about, but it's there. We are a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is all you get, and they are the enemy of the people. They refuse to discuss the Biden crime family, but enjoy covering false indictments of Donald Trump, who has done nothing wrong. We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, and where crime is rampant and out of control like never ever before. We are a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon, and China to use the trillions of dollars it has taken from us to build a military to rival its own. And less than 3 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea in check. They weren't going to do a thing against us, and everyone knows that was the fact. Now Russia and China are holding summits to carve up the world. And perhaps most importantly, we are a nation that is no longer respected or listened to on the world stage. We are a nation that in many ways has become a joke. We are a nation that is hostile to liberty, to freedom, and to faith. We are a nation whose economy is collapsing into a cesspool of ruin, whose supply chain is broken, whose stores are not stocked, whose deliveries are not coming, and whose educational system is ranked at the very bottom of every single list. We are a nation where large packs of sadistic criminals and thieves are allowed to go into stores and openly rob them, beat up and kill their workers and customers, and leave with armloads of goods but with no retribution, where the authority of our great police has been taken, where their families and pensions have been threatened, and their lives would be destroyed for the mere mention of the words law enforcement. We are a nation where fentanyl and all of the other forms of illegal drugs are easier to get than formula for our beautiful little babies. A nation whose once revered airports are dirty, they're crowded, they're a mess. You sit and wait for hours and then are notified that the plane won't leave and they have no idea when they will, where ticket prices have tripled. They don't have the pilots to fly the planes. They don't seek qualified air traffic controllers, and they just don't know what the hell they're doing. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, its willpower, and its strength. We are a nation that has lost its way, but we are not going to allow this to continue. 3 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. It was the hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it's the hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. We will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists. We will throw off the sick political class. And we will rout the fake news media. We will drain the swamp. And we will liberate our country from these tyrants and villains once and for all. We will win. Like those patriots before us, we will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. And we will never, ever back down. Together, we will complete the mission. We will cross the finish line. We will give your support to everybody that is good, and you will support us in this primary. We will evict crooked Joe Biden from the White House. We will take back our country with a righteous and magnificent victory on Election Day 2024. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. The great silent majority is rising like never before, and under our leadership, the forgotten men and women will be forgotten no longer. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Florida. God bless you all. God bless you all. Thank you, Florida.
Mike was needed. Shout out to Tina. Shout out to Ron. Shout out to Deacon. Shout out to Twin. Shout out to everybody, man. We'll be doing the arena abroad tomorrow combined with the arena this week because NB still had an article. So y'all tune in for that, and we out, y'all. Peace.